got to a fine start. But you knew Mount Mercy was a good ball club there, but Central Methodist made the plays when they had to. There, they have won 5 in a row there. While Park, they took care of Peru State this past Saturday down in Kansas City. 25-14, 25-20, and 25-15 as well. For upcoming events there Saturday, the football team trying to go for win number 2 there. They're on the road to Des Moines, Iowa to take on this Grandview team. It's a high noon kickoff there as well. Also at night, women's soccer. They're on the road to Lamoni, Iowa to take on Graceland. I think women's soccer ranked number 8 in the polls. They'll play at 5 o'clock. Men's soccer, number 24 in the polls. They'll be playing Graceland as well at 7:30 p.m. And then next Tuesday, volleyball team will be taking on Mid-American Nazarene. 7 o'clock start time. Pregame show 6:45 p.m. And also probably during that time, we'll probably give you some baseball scores as the Major League Baseball playoffs begin there as well. It is couch night there. And you see several of the students bringing in the couches there from all over the dormitories there as well. If you look at the standings, Park is 5-0, 11-2. Benedictine at 5-1, 13-3. Central Methodist 5-1, 11-5. Grandview 5-1, 5-9, and they're the three-way tie for second. In the number 5 spot is Mount Mercy, 4-2, 11-5. Mid-American Nazarene, 3-2, 6-7. Number 7 spot is William Penn, 3-3, 9-10. In the 8th spot is Missouri Valley, 2-4, and 8-10. Clark is number 9, 2-5, and 3-16. Baker is the number 10 spot, 1-3, 6-8. Peru State at 1-5 at 6-12. They're tied for 11th with Graceland 1-5 and 4-10. Oh, sorry. And Culver Stockton at 0-5 and 3-12 is all together. We're going to take you about a 2-minute break there, and of course, we'll kind of keep you up to date on the baseball as the final week of the season comes winding down here on CMUEagles.com. Follow the leader. I can tell you. Have you ever? You ever heard of that? There was an old commercial. That was an old. He said about. It was like a little. If you. If you went to a. You know, it was like a oh, well. Back here at Central Methodist University and the Higher American Conference Network and CMUEagles.com. Quentin Norris here for today's volleyball match between Central Methodist and Park as well. As you know, the baseball season winding down as well. Let's take a look at the upcoming pennant races. You got Baltimore, a 2.5 game lead over Tampa Bay. We know Baltimore and Tampa Bay are in the postseason. Baltimore's magic number is 3 to win the American League West, and most likely that means Tampa Bay will be the first wild card team there as well. Baltimore still has a chance to get the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the American League playoffs there as well. The last time they were the 1 seed in the American League playoff, you go back to 2014, where back then they had, and of course they were swept by the Kansas City Royals in 3 straight there as well. So Tampa Bay could be that number 1 spot. Minnesota has already clinched the Central Division and could be the number 3 seed. I think they still have a chance, but they pretty much need to win all their games and need some help along the way to get the first round bye, but most likely be the number 3 seed there as well. Of course, you have Texas. They really have come on strong in the last, I say, the week or so. They have a 2.5-game lead over the Houston Astros and 4 games over Seattle. Texas plays Seattle this upcoming weekend. I think it's a 4-game series in Seattle. And I think the Saturday game, hopefully, we get to see it on Fox Television at 6:15 p.m. as well. And then you have Houston. Well, on the other side, Houston is playing Seattle tonight at 9:20. Houston won the first game 5-1. They're playing game 2 down in Seattle. That's at 9 o'clock. My buddy Don Orsillo will have the play-by-play for you. Don, if you're listening in there, I want to say hi to you, buddy. I've always enjoyed listening to him. Of course, the voice of the San Diego Padres. I think he's doing the game on TBS and most likely will do the American League Division Series as well. And, of course, on the other wild card, we know Tampa Bay's in the postseason. They most likely would be the 4th seed. And then you have Toronto already a half a game, 1.5 games up in that second wild card. While, of course, you have Houston 1.5 over Seattle for that 3rd wild card spot as well. In the National League East, of course, we knew Atlanta's already pretty much the number 1 seed and have home field advantage throughout the entire postseason. The Central Division in Milwaukee is 6 games ahead of the Cubs. Their magic number is 1 tonight. So if Milwaukee beats the St. Louis Cardinals, in which the game should be underway, or if the Chicago Cubs lose to the Atlanta Braves, of course, they're playing the Braves tonight on TBS there. I think Brian Anderson, Ron Darling will have the play-by-play of that broadcast there as well. Of course, the Dodgers, they have won the National League West. They already have a first-round bye there as well. And Milwaukee most likely will be the whoever wins the Central probably will be the number 3 seed in the playoffs there as well. Philadelphia, I think they just need to win tonight there. I think they're playing, I want to say the Miami Marlins, I want to think. A win there, they'll clinch a postseason. Most likely they'd be the first wild card team. Arizona and the Cubs are tied for the 2nd wild card spot there. So I think it's going to come down, of course, if it comes to head-to-head play. And I want to say Arizona gets the tiebreaker, and we'll play Philadelphia in the wild card. Otherwise, they will have to go to Milwaukee. But also, they're also 1 game ahead of the Miami Marlins there as well. Miami's playing great baseball as well. And they have a 2.5-game lead over the Cincinnati Reds there as well. So the season is starting to wind down now as well. Also, just to let you guys know, a few hours ago, we learned that the great Baltimore Orioles third baseman Brooks Robinson passed away. Of course, he was the third. He played in the big leagues for 23 years, all at Baltimore. Won 16 Gold Gloves from 1960 to 1975. And, of course, elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, I think, back in 1983 there as well. A 23-year career there as well. The MVP of the 1970 World Series. And, Boy, he was fun to watch on television. I don't remember. I remember seeing highlights of it on television. I remember there was one highlight I think most people would talk about was in Game 1 of the 1970 World Series where Lee May hits a ground ball to third. And, of course, Brooks Robinson backhands it, throws to first base on the run, and then on one bounce gets Lee May out at first base. That is one of the most classic ones. The other one, I think, was one time, there were a few times he took away base hits from Johnny Bench in that 1970 World Series as well. Of course, he was part of the Orioles that won the 2 World Series championship back in 1966 when they swept the Dodgers. And then that 1970 team later became the Big Red Machine in 5 games as well, playing 4 World Series altogether. Of course, in 69, they lost to the Miracle Mets. And then in 1970, lost to a Pirates team they led by Roberto Clemente. And, of course, these Orioles teams, I think if you look back, maybe the mid-60s to maybe the early 80s there, they had some great ball players there as well. They had some of the great ones. The manager of that 66 team was, of course, was Hank Bauer there. They had some great ball players. They had Earl Weaver was the manager. Jim Palmer, I think, won 268 games as well. Dave McNally, who one time won 23 consecutive starts there as well. And then Mike Cuellar, he was the master of the screwball as well. And then he had Mark Belanger, I think Dave Johnson, who later managed the New York Mets to a World Series championship back in 1986 there. They had Paul Blair out in center field. They had then they had Frank Robinson, who in 1966 won the Triple Crown and was the American League MVP and the MVP of the 1966 World Series as well. Don Buford, Boog Powell, Elrod Hendricks, and of course the manager they had from 1968 till 1982 was of course Earl Weaver, their fine manager as well. And then during his reign there, during the Brooks Robinson era reign, during that time frame, I think they were teams that would either finish first or second 15 times in a span of 16 years. That's from if you go back to the 1960s till 1975 there. And they also won a couple of American League West titles back in 1973 and 1974. But then lost to the Oakland A's in the American League Championship Series there.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Puckett Fieldhouse for tonight's Harbor Athletic Conference Women's Volleyball matchup between the 8th-ranked Park University Pirates and your 20th-ranked Central Methodist Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask all players, coaches, and spectators abide by the NAIA Champions of Character Values, which are respect,
Annabelle Mawson.
The outside hitter, a 5'8" junior from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, number 6, Alyssa Smith.
That's Alyssa Smith.
Down to the barrel, a 5'4" senior from Jefferson City, Missouri.
That's Crystal Bronner.
And opposite hitter, a 6' senior from Jefferson City, Missouri, number 12, Kelly Henson.
Callie Henson.
The outside hitter, a 5'11" sophomore from Lisbon, Portugal, number 16, Joanna Milo.
That's Joanna Milo.
The outside hitter, a 5'7" junior from Branson, Missouri, number 19, Morgan LeBlanc.
Morgan LeBlanc.
And the center, a 5'8" junior from Lux, Poland, number 22,
Gabby Otoric, head coach Coleman Lee, systematic Garrett Chase, and Everett John. So we're about ready to get started. Quentin Norris on the catbird seat. Park University in the white uniforms, gold trim, gold numerals. A little maroon on the side there as well. Central Methodist, they're in the old greens there. White trim, white numerals, birds on the bats there as well. Central Methodist, they are 11-5, 5-1 in the conference. They have won 5 in a row. While Park, they're 11-2, 5-0 in the conference as well. And you see Park is ranked number 8, Central Methodist number 20. Should be an exciting matchup there tonight as well. Great crowd on hand on this September the 26th. And as the great Vin Scully would say, let's pull up a chair in and get ready for some Central Methodist volleyball action there as well. So you got Milo, Otoric, Henson, Annabelle Mawson, LeBlanc, Smith. There you see the down official. They're checking the lineup cards there as well. Making sure we're all set. So Bronner comes in for Morgan LeBlanc. So we're about ready to get started. That's Libero Irene Verdino. Looks like Park will have the first serve of the match. Ariane Marino will serve. And tonight's first serve is sponsored by Commercial Trust Bank. Line drive to Henson. Otoric. Nice touch shot, but here comes Park. Bronner to Otoric. Alyssa Smith with the shot is good. 1-0 Central Methodist. So Crystal Bronner in to serve. Crystal Bronner in to serve. Back goes Park. I think it's go out of bounds and a point to Central Methodist and a 2-0 lead. Bronner serves. Another line drive serve. Here comes Park. And a point to the Pirates. Makes it 2-1 now. So now in the serve. Looks like Gracie Ung will serve from Sonora, Mexico. Line drive. Dug out there by Otoric, but here comes Park. Good hustle there by Callie Henson. See what Park does here. And a tie game at 2. Gracia Ung will serve. Times it. Goes to the jump serve. Just grazes the net to Otoric. LeBlanc, it hit the antenna, and Park leads it 3-2. So Park is on a 3-0 run now. Racia Young will serve. There's that jump serve to Bronner. A Turek. Nice job there, but here comes Park. Bronner, a Turek. There's Callie Henson. Good hustle there by Park. Mawson, a Turek. Nice shot, but out of bounds, and Park leads it 4-2. So Park leads it 4-2 now. Thanks several of the Park students made the trip from Kansas City. Down I-70, went past Ewing Kauffman Stadium. A Turek. Oh, nice kill there by Callie Henson. 4-3 now. So Delaney Miller checks into the game. Annabelle Mawson. Mawson serves. Here comes Park. Right-handed shot. Oh, nice drop shot there. A kill there by Callie Henson, tying the match at 4. Tying the match at 4. So Annabelle Mawson serving. Four tie. Let's see what Park does. Bronner, Aturi. Nice drop shot there, and a point for the Pirates. Makes it 5-4. Irene Verdino from Rome, Italy. Henson to Turek. Callie Henson, and a tie game at 5. Tie game at 5. So Sydney Healy checks in. Riley McBurney in the serve from Blue Springs. Went to Blue Springs High School, Blue Springs South High School, and of course transferred from William Woods. Drop shot there. Maybe a net violation. And a 6-5 lead for Park. So Isabella Cernate from Tijuana, Mexico. There's that jump serve. Out of bounds, tying the match at 6. That's Morgan LeBlanc from Branson, Missouri, home of Silver Dollar City. Beautiful area. If you have a chance to go, at a point for Park and make it 7-6. Serve there to Milo. Little collision, Bronner, and a point for the Pirates that lead 8-6. That matches the largest lead. It was 4-2 earlier. And a timeout called by Central Methodist. Here in the first set, Park 8, Central Methodist 6 on CMUEagles.com. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something else. 8-6 Park. Set number 1, Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat. Melina Hensley from Kansas City. Park University is located in Parkville, north of Kansas City, off I-435 McBurney. But here comes the Pirates. McBurney to Bronner. Dug out there. Here comes Park. Bronner and a lead now 9-6. Nine to 6 now. Another line drive serve to Mawson to McBurney. There's Delaney Miller. Miller to McBurney. Back to Delaney Miller. But here comes Park. Here's Healy. McBurney. Milo. Back goes Park. Into the net to make it 9-7. Alyssa Smith, I know her mom Lisa is listening in from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Want to say hi to her mom. Enjoyed meeting them this past weekend in Fayette. And a point there, I believe Deborah Bernardi with the kill. There's a line drive serve. That's an ace to make it 11-7. Eleven to 7 now. Into the net makes it 11-8. So Gabby Oturek in the serve from Poland. Oturek serves. Another line drive serve. That goes the Pirates. Blocked. I think that's Annabelle Mawson. 11-9 now. Abby Oturek serves. That's out of bounds, and the Pirates makes it 12-9. Deborah Bernardi in the serve from Ponta Grossa, Brazil. Henson to Oturek. Milo. Joanna Milo makes it 12-10. So Crystal Bronner in the serve. Back goes Park. Oh, nice kill there to make it 13-10. Thirteen to 10 now. Another line drive serve to Oturek. Back goes the Pirates. Nearly blocked. Oh, it is blocked by Annabelle Mawson. 13-11. Annabelle Mawson serves. Annabelle Mawson serves. Back goes Park. Here's LeBlanc to Oturek. Callie Henson, and that's out of bounds to make it 14-11. Arena Verdino will serve from Rome, Italy. Another line drive to Mawson. A Turek tipped it over, but good hustle by the Pirates to Miller. A Turek. Here comes Henson. Here comes Oh, nice block. Oh, nice job there. A Turek. Bronner. And that's Morgan LeBlanc to make it 14-12. That's Sydney Healy checking in. So Riley McBurney in the serve. McBurney in the serve. Here comes Park. Block, nearly blocked. LeBlanc. Healy. And it's on the line. Right down the 14-13. What a shot by Sydney Healy. McBurney serving. See what Park does here. And it's a point for the Pirates to make it 15-13. Isabella Sorrente takes a few dribbles. There's the jump serve. And you see more couches coming into play there. And it's tipped over. I think LeBlanc gets it. 15-14. Joanna Milo. Morgan LeBlanc. Here comes. Oh, nice kill there to make it 16-14. Park on the serve, 16-14 now. Let's see, McBurney. Milo, beautiful. Joanna Milo. Alyssa Smith, the Ranger, will serve. It's basically like in the Yogi Bear cartoon, there was a Ranger Smith who guarded Jellystone National Park. Oh, there's a kill there to make it 17-16. 17-15. 17-15 Park, set number one. Here comes McBurney. Healy with the touch shot. Milo to McBurney. Milo. Park stays with it. Out of bounds. Actually, it's a point there on a double hit call. Makes it 18-15. I did not see the double hit. And it's 18-15. The first set there. Into the net. It's 18-16. Callie Henson. Gabby Atoric in the serve. Where's number 22? Like another famous college football player, Doug Flutie, the 1984 Heisman Trophy winner from Boston College. And a beautiful shot there. It's 19-16. First set. Here's a Turek. Let's see. And it's a point for the Pirates to make it 19-17. 19-17. Morgan LeBlanc checks in. And a timeout by Park. First set, Park 19, Central Methodist 17 on CMUEagles.com. Have you ever? Oh, okay. I tell you something. Not too much then. How about you? Oh, you know, just another Danny. Hey, I will take them. Hey, we're ready to go. Tonight's a big game. At the base. That's fun. (19-17) first set, set number one there. Quentin Norris calling from the Catbird seat. Boy, I tell you, this crowd feels like I'm at Dodger Stadium, sitting in the press box where the great Vin Scully used to do the baseball games for the Los Angeles Dodgers for 60 years there. Because remember, the first few years, he was in Brooklyn. And Crystal Bronner in the serve. Just grazes the net. Here comes the Pirates. But here comes Central Methodist blocked. Blocked again. But here's Smith to a Turek. Henson. Now here comes. Back comes Henson. Callie Henson makes it 19-18. Central Methodist is on a 2-0 run there. Bronner will serve. Here comes Park. A kill shot there. I believe Isabel Sarante with the kill. Makes it 20-18 there. (20-18). 20-18 now. Here comes a Turek. LeBlanc, but out of bounds, so they get 21-18. That's been, and I believe 3 points has been the largest lead either way for both teams, according to my notes there. 21-18, here's set one there. Bronner, a Turek. That's Mawson. See what Park does here. A drop shot is good to make it 22-18. And a timeout called. Here's set one. Park 22, Central Methodist 18. You're wondering if they brought the Madden Cruiser to something. I bet they took a Madden. Quentin Norris here on couch night. As you see, a lot of the students brought the couches in there to Central Methodist University. I even told them that they should rename it Bob Euchre Night because several years ago, Bob Euchre came up with the phrase, "Let's have a seat in the front row." And there's even a statue of Bob Euchre in Milwaukee. Line drive, sir, and that's an ace to make it 23-18. It looked like it go out, but it hung along the left field line there. So Park is on a 4-0 run there. Let's see what they do here. Turek, LeBlanc. Turek, Bronner, Callie Henson going right-handed, and a point for Central Methodist. Makes it 23-18. 23-19. Annabelle Mawson. Annabelle Mawson. Annabelle Mawson serves. See what Park does here. Bronner to LeBlanc. Mawson. Let's see what Park does here with a touch shot and a point for Isabella Sarante. And it's 24-19, set point for Park. Just around the 7:30 hour on this Tuesday, September the 26th. Turek. Oh, nice kill there by Callie Henson to keep it alive. 24-20. 24-20. Cindy Healy checks in. Riley McBurney in the serve from Blue Springs. Came from William Woods. Went to Blue Springs South High School. Oh, nice job, but here comes McBurney. Healy, beautiful. Cindy Healy makes it 24-21. So set point number 3 for Park. So timeout by Park. Set number 1, Park 24, Central Methodist 21. Set number 1, Quentin Norris calling from the Catbird seat. Of course, week from today, the baseball playoffs begin. With the National League and American League wild card on ABC, ESPN2, and ESPN Television. I think the first game most likely will probably start at noon. It will be either Philadelphia or Tampa Bay will be the site of the first game there. And a block by Delaney Miller. 24-22 now. So both teams have no timeouts left in the first set. Looks like another stool and another just graces the net. Park has it. And a point down, 24-23 on a 4-hit call. Park was on a 4-0 run. Now Central Methodist is on a 4-0 run. The largest lead Central Methodist has had, I think it was 2 early in the first set, which was 2-0. Out of bounds, and Park wins the first set, 25-23. And we'll have set number 2 for you in 2 minutes and 2 seconds on CMUEagles.com. and the Iron American Conference Network. Hey, I can tell about baseball. Back here at Central Methodist University, Puckett Fieldhouse, Quentin Norris here in the catbird seat. Central Methodist Park wins the first one, 25-23. You might say a pretty evenly match, you might say, throughout this first half. Central Methodist jumped ahead 2-0. Park started to pull away, but Central Methodist made a late rally. They scored the next four, but then Park got the last point, 25-23. Also, just to let you guys know, we, of course, mentioned earlier, of course, week from today is the baseball playoff starts with the American League and National League wild cards there as well. And, of course, there's 4 games. We don't know the time. We'll probably know maybe Sunday late afternoon, early evening. I think Kevin Connors and Jessica Mendoza, along with Tim Kirchen, Buster Olney, David Cohn, Carl Ravage, Eduardo Perez, kind of give you updates there. Usually in a situation, I would say, my educated guess, I would say the first game of the night will start at 12 noon. And it's usually, of course, it depends on where it's at. Probably could be either Tampa or Philadelphia. Then the second game will start at 1 o'clock, and it'll probably be either those two. Then the third game will probably start maybe at 3:30 on ESPN, and that could probably, most likely, could be in Milwaukee or maybe Minneapolis for the Twins there. And then usually the nightcapper would be the 7 o'clock game, and that could be either Milwaukee or Minneapolis there. But I know they usually like to pick out the best matchups there every single night. Gabby Turek will start set 2, and it's out of bounds. Makes it 1-0. But we'll keep you up to date there. You can follow on ESPN.com. I think Baseball Tonight will give you the updates there as well. 1-0 Park. There's a line drive serve to Bronner. A Turek. Annabelle Mawson ties the match at 1. So Crystal Bronner will serve. Crystal Bronner in the serve. Bronner. Here comes Park. Henson. LeBlanc. Beautiful. Morgan LeBlanc. 2-1 Central Methodist. Last time they led, early in the first set, 2-0. Park led most of the way after that. The largest lead they had, I believe it was 5. And a point for Park to tie the game at 2. Even though Park had made 5 changes, but the 6th time was the charm to win that one, 25-23. LeBlanc gets it blocked. Here comes, and a lead for Central Methodist, 3-2 on a net call. So Delaney, now Annabelle Musson from Jefferson City. What an amazing career, all with some of the other people from Jeff City. Got Callie Henson and Crystal Bronner. Here comes Park. Central Methodist has it. Oturik, Miller. Nice drop shot and a point for the Pirates to tie the match at 3. Three tie, set number 2. Park won the first one, 25-23. Another line drive serve. Callie Henson. Oturik. And a block makes it 4-3. It'd be kind of like no one. Isabella Sarante will serve. Will serve into the net to tie the match at 4. Sydney Healy checks in. Riley McBurney in the serve. Coleman Lee giving out instructions. See what Park does here. McBurney. LeBlanc. Beautiful! Morgan LeBlanc gives Central Methodist a 5-4 lead. Set number 2. McBurney. See what Park does here. Nice drop shot. LeBlanc. Nice, good hustle there by Park. Here's McBurney. Miller. Oh, line drive kill there. Makes it a 5-5 tie. Five tie. There's a line drive serve. See what Park does here. Tip shot. Here comes Central Methodist. See what Park. Oh, nice into that. Good idea by Riley McBurney, but it went into the net for a 6-5 lead for the Pirates. 6-5s are scored here. Line drive. Healy ties the match at 6. Sydney Healy ties the game at 6. Joanna Mula checks in there. Morgan LeBlanc will serve. Line drive, here comes Park. There's a touch shot. Mawson couldn't get to it, and a 7-6 lead for Park. 7-6 now. McBurney, and I believe that may be a double hit call. 8-6 Park. Yes. 8-6 is our score. Set number 2. Back goes Healy, and a point there makes it 8-7. 8-7 now. So Alyssa Smith will serve. Smith will serve. Left-handed serve. Here comes Park. Nice job there. Healy. And a point for the Pirates. Makes it 9-7. to 7 now. Here's McBurney. Milo out of bounds. Makes it 9-8. Gavia Turek will serve. Turek. Nice job there. Bronner. Henson. A kill shot, but out of bounds. Ties the match at 9. A 9-9 tie. That's 9-9. And a point for Central Methodist. Leads it 10-9. Timeout by Park University. Central Methodist 10, Park 9 on CMUEagles.com. It's this. Hey, look, it's the silly, the say hey. You know, you're like, you ever heard of a name Willie Mays? You ever heard of name Willie Mays? Willie Mays. The name Willie Mays. You ever heard of Willie Mays? Well, he was a baseball player with the Giants. And he was nicknamed the Say Hey because when he lived in, everybody would say hey. They would say hey. And they had us named after, they even did a song, Willie Mays. A Turek in the serve. The say. Blocked by Massa. 11-9. That matches the largest lead of the match. A Turek serving. Back in the 1970s. Annabelle Mawson serving. Here comes Park. There's a line drive there to make it 14-13. Isabella Cerrante. 14-13 now. There's the jump serve. That was like Nolan Ryan going 102 miles an hour, and it's blocked to make it 15-13. And I mean, he can throw. I can tell you that because I remember on television. 15-13. There's a 15-13, just grazes the net, and 16-13 lead. A 3-0 run by Park. Park ranked number 8 in the polls. Of course, we know the polls will probably come out tomorrow. Be interesting where would Central Methodist be. Out of bounds, so 16-14. What's that? No, I don't know, really. (16-14), Riley McBurney in the serve. McBurney. Back goes Park. And a point for the Pirates to make it 17-14. Hey, you know, one of my from just once. Oh, really? 17-14. You have somebody doing. (17-14). McBurney to Healy. Into the net. 17-15. So Morgan LeBlanc in the serve. Back goes Central Methodist. Milo hit the antenna, makes it 18-15. Hey, you know, one of my wants to tell you. Oh, really? Yeah, she says you. Well, good deal. We'll tell her I said I as well. McBurney. Delaney Miller puts it down. 18-16. 18-16. Alyssa Smith in the serve. (18-16). Smith. Let's see what Park does here. Healy. (18-16). It did touch a Central Methodist player to make it 19-16. Okay, I'll go ahead and 19-16, set number 2. Park won the first one, 25-23. Garrett Case giving out instructions. Bronner, McBurney, Milo out of bounds, makes it 20-16. So now checking into the game, that is Danica White. New Athens, Illinois, just east of St. Louis on I-70, and around there is Alton, Illinois, the most famous celebrity from Alton, Dwayne Stass. Smith. Blocked. but it's a point for Park to make it 21-16. 21-16, and a timeout call. Set number 2, Park 21, Central Methodist 16. Well, how you doing? 21-16, set number 2. Park leads the match 25-20. They lead the match 1-0. They won the first one 25-23. Next game up for the volleyball squad, it'll be the week from today as they take on Mid-American Nazarene. Pre-game show, 6:45 p.m. 7 o'clock first serve there as well. Also Saturday, football team will be taking on Grandview at high noon. Then at 5 o'clock, women's soccer takes on Graceland down in Lamona, Iowa. What is Central Methodist women's soccer? They're 3-0 in the conference, 7-1-1 already. Then at 7:30, men's soccer takes on Graceland. Central Methodist men looking for their first conference win there as Sydney Healy puts it down. Makes it 21-17. They lost to Mid-America on Saturday 2-1. So Central Methodist 3-4-2, 0-2-1 in that conference as well. Looks like the injured, that's Gracia Ung. Looks like shaking up a little bit, maybe slipped a little bit, but I know Dan Gears, who has done a wonderful job there as one of the assistant athletic trainers. Gavia Turek, I want to give a nice shout out to Dan. What an amazing job he has done throughout the sports season, not only with volleyball, but basketball and many others. I say he's done a great job. Now I just want to say thank you for what he's done this year. And also to all the student trainers also been helping out there. So I just want to give a thank you to them as well. 21-17. You see the student crowd into it. A Turek and a point for Park to make it 22-17. Gracia Ung looks like is okay and is back to serve. There's the jump serve. A line driver to Bronner. Now let's see White. Back goes Bronner. Henson. Oh, that's nice job by Callie Henson, but it will go out of bounds. Make it 23-17. Juana Milo checks in. 23-17, set number 2. Into the net, makes it 23-18. The 6 points has been the largest now for Park University. Bronner in the serve. Back to Aturik. Bronner. Milo. Blocked, but out of bounds, and now it's 24-18. So now it's set point now for Park University. Irene Verdino will serve. Line drive to Smith. Aturik. Henson puts it down, 24-19. 24-19. Remember that first set, they were in a position, they were down 24-19. Scored the last 4. 1 out of 4 run before Park won that final point of the first set. Mawson serving. Bronner, Mawson, Bronner. There's Aturik, LeBlanc. I think it hit the antenna. 24 hits, 24-20. Set point number 2. It took Park 6 chances in that first set. Set point number 2. That's an ace for Annabelle Mawson. And I'm sure everybody's heard the saying, could the third time be the charm? Timeout Park. Set 2, Park 24. Central Methodist 21. Now it's set point number 4 now as Park leads at 24-21 now. Set number 2. Quentin Norris sitting in the catbird seat. Of course, 2 weeks tonight, the NHL season opens up at 4:30 p.m. The Nashville Predators take on the Tampa Bay Lightning down in Tampa, of course. Ray Ferraro, Emily Kaplan, and I will have for you a pregame show at 4 o'clock, hosted by Steve Levy, Chris Chelios, Mark Messier, BK Subban. Then 7 o'clock, the Chicago Blackhawks take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Bob Wischusen and Brendan Morrow will have it for you. Aturik. Nice touch shot there to make it 24-22. Now the set point number 5 now. And then we close it out that night. The Vegas Golden Knights, the defending Stanley Cup champion, take on the Los Angeles Kings. Mawson. And Park wins the second set, 25-22. And lead the match 2 sets to none. We'll have set number 3 for you in 2 minutes, 2 seconds on CMUEagles.com. back here at Central Methodist University. Park winning the second set 25-22. They lead the match 2 sets to none. They won the first set 25-23. And now one more victory, and Park will be 12-2, 6-0. And then Central Methodist, they know they need to win this one to stay alive there. I know this team could do it there. I have seen this team. They know what's at stake. They're up against a team that's been ranked in the top 10 all season long. So hopefully, I think if they just went back to the drawing board, I'm sure they'll find something there to get set number 3 there. So looks like Milo, Miller, Mawson, Smith, Healy, and looks like LeBlanc. Now they're waiting on Crystal Bronner. Oh, there's Crystal Bronner changing jerseys. If Bob was doing Price is Right, he probably said, and then I could send a little go. And I'm so now Park will start set 3. Milo to McBurney. Miller, McBurney, Milo. And a point for Central Methodist. They lead it 1-0. They need to win to stay alive as Alyssa Smith will serve. Smith. Back goes Park. And a tie game at 1. So Gracie Ung will serve. McBurney to Milo. Back goes Park. Left-handed serve off of Alyssa Smith to make it 2-1. I'll tell you one thing, this Park team, they are a good ball club, and ever since Michael Telemontes has taken over, they've been one of the finest teams there. They're trying to win another national championship. Last one was 2018 when they defeated Columbia College. Tie game at Gabby Turk. The last time they were in the title game, 2021, losing to Missouri Baptist. That was probably one of the best volleyball matches I have ever watched. And Turk with an ace. Makes it 3-2 now. Gabby Turek. And a point for Park to make it 4. Actually, Central Methodist. And Central Methodist leads it 4-2. 2 points has been the largest lead all throughout the match. Most recent one was 11-9 in set 2. There's a tip shot. Maybe a double hit call. No, it's a lift. 4-3. Arena Verdino. Verdino will serve. Back goes Central Methodist. And a point for Central Methodist. They lead at 5 to tie the match at Central Methodist leads it 5-3. So Crystal Bronner will serve. It's been a 2 all night. Blocked. I think that's Callie Henson. And it's 6-3, the largest lead of the night for Central Methodist. They're trying to stay alive at a timeout by Park. Central Methodist 6, Park 3 in set number 3. But remember, Park leads the match 2-0. Six-3 Central Methodist trying to stay alive. Force a fourth set there. They need a win. Park won the first one, 25-23. Second set, 25-22. And Crystal Bronner in the serve. Bronner. Back goes Central Methodist. Henson mistimed it, and a point for Park. So 6-4 now. Park's largest lead was 6. That was late in the second set. There's the jump serve into the net, making it 7-4. Annabelle Mawson. Annabelle Mawson. Seven to 4 now. Here comes LeBlanc. Good hustle there. Maybe a net call there, makes it 7-5. You couldn't hardly hear the whistle there. Melena Hensley from Kansas City. Here comes Central Methodist. Block there, I think Delaney Miller. 8-5 now. Cindy Healy. That's Riley McBurney. McBurney. Blocked and 9-5 lead. Delaney Miller. 9-5 and a timeout by Park. Second in this third set, Central Methodist 9, Park 5. 9-5, set 3. Quentin Norris here. Calling from the catbird seat. Crystal Bronner, the reigning Higher American Conference Player of the Week. As Riley McBurney will serve. McBurney serves. Here comes Park. And it's in, 10-5. Delaney Miller makes it 10-5. And they're on a 3-0 run now. You wonder if Coleman Lee had a conversation with Harvey Keene. 11-5 now. Riley McBurney. Riley McBurney in the serve. See what Park does here. Nice hustle by Bronner. Nearly blocked. And a point for Central Methodist, 12-5. On a 5-0 run now. Miller Park has no more timeouts in this third set. McBurney. Little miscommunication, but it hit the antenna, make it 13-5. A 13-5 lead. Coleman Lee cheering his team on, trying to force a fourth set. Out of bounds, makes it 14-5. 14-5. Riley McBurney still serving. Mawson to McBurney. Dump shot, but out of bounds, so 14-6. (14-6) now. Miller, and it's tipped over. 15-6. 15-6. That's Morgan LeBlanc in the serve. Juana Milo also checks in there. LeBlanc into the net, makes it 15-7. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 15-7 now. Another line drive. Here comes LeBlanc. McBurney, and that's a point. 16-7. Solana Milo. Alyssa Smith, the Ranger, will serve. (16-7), and it's 17-7. Sydney Healy. They want a fourth set. Smith. Back goes Park, out of bounds, 18-7. 18-7. You wish Michael Talamontes wants his timeout back. 18-7, out of bounds, makes it 18-8. Now it's 18-8, set number 3. Park leads the match 2-0. They need a big rally. Back goes McBurney. And a point for Sydney Healy, 19-8. 19-8. Gabby Aturik. Aturik. Blocked by Big Joanna Mead and Annabelle Mawson, 20-8. It's 20-8. Aturik out of bounds, so it's now 20-9 now. Irene Verdino. $20-9 now. Well, you know what? Here's Aturik, nearly blocked. Here's Aturik. Milo, and it's a point, 21-9. Giovanna Milo, 21-9. They're 4 points away from a fourth set. Crystal Bronner. And a point for Park to make it 21-10. Deborah Barani with a kill. Isabel Sarante will serve. (21-10) just grazes the net. Aturik. And a point for Park on a double hit call, make it 21-11. Out of bounds, 22-11. Delaney Miller checks in there. Here's Annabelle Mawson. Annabelle Mawson serves. Just needs 3 more points from the fourth set. Bronner, LeBlanc, and it's 23-11. 23-11 now. Annabelle Mawson serving, trying to stay alive. (23-11) into the net, makes it 23-12. (23-12). Back goes Aturik. Partially, oh, it's blocked, and Morgan LeBlanc. Set point, Central Methodist. Riley McBurney, Sydney Healy check in. Set point now. Trying to stay alive. Riley McBurney in the serve. And it's a point for Park. I mean, it's 24-13. Mawson, McBurney. Here's Healy. Partially blocked to McBurney. Bronner. Healy. Dug out. Here's LeBlanc, who has really turned it on in the third set. Healy. LeBlanc. Beautiful! Central Methodist is alive. 25-13. We will have set 4 for you in 2 minutes and 2 seconds on CMUEagles.com and the Heartbreaker Conference Network. No. He is in. He is doing the. Ready to do the. Why not? How about this? Back here at Central Methodist University, Central Methodist staying alive, winning that third set 25-13. They really dominate. Early and often, it was just feeling each other out. But Central Methodist really turned it on. After lean by 2, but Central Methodist went on a 7-0 run to increase it to 14-5. After a par point, Central Methodist kept pulling away there. Got to 11, then to 12, and then hung on for that 25-13 victory. So now Park leads the match 2-1. Central Methodist wins. We will have a split set. At that time, we go to 15. So Alyssa Smith, Riley McBurney, Morgan LeBlanc, Cindy Healy, Joanna Milo, and there you see Crystal Bronner. Okay, and then Annabelle Mawson. Glad to have you with us. Set number 4. Alyssa Smith, the Ranger, will serve. The reason is because if you remember the Yogi Bear cartoon, there was a Ranger Smith that worked at Jellystone Park. And a point for Central Methodist makes it 1-0. One to nothing now as the Ranger, Alyssa Smith, serves with the left hand. And it's out of bounds, making it 2-0. Central Methodist makes it 2-0. Central Methodist is on a 3-0 run now, if you count the point they scored in that third set. So 2-0. Here comes Park. And a point for the Pirates to make it 2-1. Isabel Cervantes. Two one now. Healy. And a point for the Pirates to tie the game at 2. And we are tied at 2. Isabella Serrani from Tijuana, Mexico. 2-2 tie. That's an ace. 3-2 Park. The last time Park led, if I look at my notes, was in the third set early, 2-1. Into the net, tied the match at 3. Callie Henson, Gabby Aturik. Aturik serve. Here comes Park. And a point for the Pirates to make it 4-3. Hey, Melena Hensley with the kill. 4-3 now, Park. Four to 3. Here comes Central Methodist. Callie Henson ties the match at 4. Morgan LeBlanc will. Now Crystal Braun wants a new ball. Bronner. See what Park does here. Bronner. Henson. And a point for Park, making it 5-4. Deborah Bernardi with the kill. Irene Verdino. 5-4 now. LeBlanc, and a point for the Pirates to make it 6-4. Six to 4 now. Largest lead Park had, I think, has been 6. That was in the second set. Here's a Turek. Oh, beautiful. Maybe took the page out of Riley McBurney's playbook and makes it 6-5 now. So Annabelle Mawson in the serve. Next match for Central Methodist a week from tonight. Taking on Mid-American Nazarene. Pre-game show at 6:45 p.m., 7 o'clock. Also, the reserve volleyball team will also take on Mid-American Nazarene at 7 o'clock. Annabelle Mawson. Here comes Central Methodist. Miller. Aturic. Henson. Bronner. Mawson. And a tip shot is good. Tied at 6. Six tie. That goes Park. And a point for Park, and we get 7-6. 7-6. Ariana Marino from Pinero, Italy. 7-6. Oh, and it's out of bounds. I thought it went in, but they said it's out, and Park leads it 8-6. First NFL football, Kansas City Chiefs played the New York Jets Sunday night, 7:20 p.m. on NBC television. Coverage starts with Football Night in America. Delaney Miller puts it right on the line. Makes it 8-7 now. So Riley McBurney in this. Riley McBurney. Shot to Bronner. LeBlanc. It hit the antenna, tying the match at 8. 8-8 tie. Little past 8:40 on this Tuesday night. LeBlanc, and it's on the line, makes it 9-8. We're on a 3-0 run now. McBurney. Blocked out of bounds and a point, tying the match at 9. Nine tie. 9-9. Oh, blocked and a point for Park. 10-9. Ten to 9 now. Bronner to McBurney. Healy. And it's a tie game at 10. Ten. Joanna Milo. Morgan LeBlanc. Boy, she's played a great ball game. LeBlanc. And a tip shot is good, making 11-10. So 11-10 now. 11-10 now in this fourth set. McBurney. There's a drop shot there. Milo. Bronner. Milo. And a point for the Pirates makes it 12-10. 12-10. 12-10. Back goes McBurney. Healy. Out of bounds, 13-10. Thirteen to 10. Milo, McBurney, Milo, and it's 14 to 10. Four-0 run by Park, so a timeout call. The four set Park 14, Central Methodist 10 on CMBOEagles.com and a Higher American Conference Network. Fourteen to 10, set number 4. Here's the serve to McBurney. Healy. And a point for Park to make it 15 to 10. 15 to 10. 15 to 10. Back goes Healy with a kill. 15-11. Alyssa Smith will serve. And a point makes it 16-11. $16-11. Here comes Milo, McBurney, Healy. And it's 16-12. They need to win this one to force a fifth set. Gabby Turek. Turek. Oh, that's an ace. Beautiful shot by Gabby Turek. 16-13. Sometimes a ace can get the team going. Turek just grazes the net. But here comes Turek. Bossa, beautiful. As Central Methodist is on a 4-0 run now. To make it 16-14. Turek. Back goes Turek. Henson blocked out of bounds, 16-15. Now a 4-0 run now. Timeout by Park in the fourth set. Park 16. Central Methodist 15. So now it's 16-15 Park. Central Methodist is on a 4-0 run now. The last time they led was 9-8 in this set. Turek. See what Park does. And a point for the Pirates to make it 17-15. So now here comes Park. Milana Hensley will serve. Coleman Lee wants an explanation from one of the up officials. As Michael Talamonte talked to a couple of players. (17-15) Park. Here comes. And a point for Central Methodist, 17-16. Jelana Milo. 17-16. Morgan LeBlanc. Bristol Bronner. Bristol Bronner. Bronner to a Turek. LeBlanc, that's blocked into the net, makes it 18-16. Also checking in for Central Methodist, that's Jessica Mowry from Arnold, Missouri. Where's number 15? Like a great number 15, Tim McCarver. Back goes LeBlanc. And a point for Park to make it 19-16. (19-16) now. This is one of the teams you want to keep an eye on as we head toward the national tournament. They are a good ball club. A Turek. And that's Mawson. 19-17. Delaney Miller. Annabelle Mawson. Timeout call. So 19-17. 19-17, set 4. Park won the first set, 25-23. Second set, Park 25, Central Methodist 22. But Central Methodist won the third one, 25-13. Park has no more timeouts left in the fourth set. Central Methodist has the one. Mawson. Ace. 19-18. Mawson still serving. Let's see what Park does. Here's Bronner. LeBlanc. And a point makes it 20-18 Park. 20-18. Park just 5 points away from win number 12. Bronner, Mawson, Henson, that's blocked, and it's 21-18. Ariana Marino will serve. LeBlanc. Henson. Partially blocked, and it's a point for Park, 22-18. So timeout call for in the fourth set. Park 22, Central Methodist 18 on CMUEagles.com. (22-18) set 4. Quentin Norris here. As soon as we're done, we'll take you out to, most likely, to Seattle. It'll be the Houston Astros taking on the Seattle Mariners. Don Orsillo will have the play-by-play for you on TBS. (22-18). Neither team has any timeouts. Bronner, Aturic, LeBlanc. Here comes Aturic. Miller blocked. And it's a point for Park, 23-18. 23-18. That's Kelsley Walker check in. (23-18). Line drive to Bronner. Mawson, LeBlanc. Bronner, Henson. And it's a point for Central Methodist. Now it's 23-19. Sydney Healy. Riley McBurney. Riley McBurney in the serve. McBurney. And a point for Park, and it's now match point. 24-19, now match point for Mark. Gracia Ung will serve. And that's the ball game. The final score is 25-19. 25-19. We'll recap the scoring totals there. In set one, Park 25, Central Methodist 23. Set number two, Park 25, Central Methodist 22. But then Central Methodist won the third one, 25-13. But then Park won it 25-19. Park goes to 12-2 on the year, 6-0 in the conference. Central Methodist goes 11-6 and 5-2 in the conference. The next game up for Central Methodist, it will be a week from tonight, taking on Mid-American Nazarene pregame show at 6:45 p.m., 7 o'clock start time. And also next Tuesday, the baseball playoffs will begin. Quentin Norris saying so long. That's 5,624. Let's head out to Seattle. It's the Houston Astros take on the Seattle Mariners. Don Orsillo and Ron Darling. Take it away there, Don.